Well, hello there. It's good to see you. This is Anita Gibson, coach, speaker, educational strategist, and author of the book Starfinder. And today I want to talk about what is tearing your child down. When you look in the Bible, good morning, Priscilla, at Proverbs 14:1, it says, "A wise woman builds her house, but a foolish woman tears it down with her own hands." Priscilla, yay. So I don't think any of us as women would intentionally tear our house down. I don't think any of us wake up in the morning and say, today I'm going to tear my house down. I think it's things that we do, patterns that we have, ways of behavior, how we speak to people that are the tools that end up being used to tear our house down. Good morning, Tasha. And so what is tearing your child down? Sometimes we're looking out at the world and we see all the chaos and confusion and the violence and the anger and there's issues going on, bullying going on at school, and we're looking at all of that stuff. And those are some of the things that we really can't do a lot about. What we can do something about is what's going on right in our own home. And because there is so much chaos and confusion and violence all around us, it makes it even that much more important for our home to be a place of encouragement and comfort and safety for our kids. And so one of the things I had to learn the hard way was that my words were tearing my children down. I was trying to help them get better, but because I didn't understand the power of my words, instead of my words having the effect that I wanted them to have, they ended up doing the very opposite. And because I was a strong personality, I was a straight to the point kind of person, I just said what I wanted to say. I said it the way I wanted to say it. And I had to learn that I was using my words to tear my house down and to tear my children down. Tearing down, just saying what I want to say. When I'm upset, whatever comes out is what comes out. That's easy. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort to say what you want to say. But boy, when it came to trying to build up and to try to find words that were encouraging and words that were a blessing and words that would get to the heart of my child, woo! Now that was some work. And I had to work really hard at it because it was not my natural temperament. For some of you, that just comes naturally to you. But for me, it did not. It wasn't a bone in my body that was thinking in that way. And so I had to rethink. I actually had to go on a fast and just be quiet for a while. The Lord said to me, if you can't say something good, don't say nothing at all. Because I was at a place where I needed to relearn how to build and not tear down. I didn't want to be that woman in Proverbs 14:1 who was tearing her house down with her own hands. Good morning. Welcome. And so it's really important to understand the power of a mother and the power of your words. Your words can be the difference between life and death for your child in terms of their future, in terms of their purpose, in terms of who they will become. It is so important to learn how to give up your rights. Sometimes there are things that come up and you really want to say this, that, or the other, and you have to learn how to have the maturity to be still. I remember one day I was railing at one of my kids. They did something, and I mean, it was really, really, really wrong. And I was going for it, and you know that was wrong, and you shouldn't have done that. And what is your problem? And, you know, I heard God saying to me, so, how old are you? Because you sound like a 5-year-old having a tantrum. And they're the ones that are the children who, I expect them to have a tantrum, not you. I was like, ooh. And so God, he really just began to show me, you are a mature, loving woman of God. That's who you are. So now let's go ahead and start manifesting that. And so I had to stop saying, well, I'm a straightforward, I just say it like it is. That's just who I am. I had to begin to say, no, I am a loving, kind woman of God. I have patience. I have the ability to listen to my children. I have the ability to get down on their level and see what's really going on with them. I had to start speaking to myself about who I was, who God had made me to be, because it was already in there. I just needed to allow him to begin to manifest. That's right, Priscilla. Words of kindness. It's like a balm to our children. And even though I didn't start out that way, I was a very harsh, hard, to the point kind of mom. It was amazing for me to watch my kids and wonder that instead of slamming them when they did something wrong, that I began to be able to say, honey, that's okay. Come on, let mommy help you wipe that up. It's not a big deal. Everybody makes mistakes. And you know what I found out? I found out that the reason why I talk to them like that is because that's how I talk to myself. Wow, Tasha, this is so on point. As I just read scripture last night and was having trouble with my son, I had to control my anger, my word, yes, and not allow the devil to take over. That's it exactly. Because when anger comes up, this is what I've learned over time, it blocks getting to a child's heart. Anger blocks a child being able to hear what you're concerned about, what you need them to change, because now they're so focused on, mommy, she just said that to me and that was so mean and nasty. They're not focusing now on themselves and what they need to change. Now they're focusing on us and how we said something. And so anger, you have to bring it down so that if your goal is to get to your child's heart, they can hear you. And sometimes I would just have to step away. Sometimes right in the moment after something happened or I found something out, I would just have to say, okay, I'm going to get back to you on that. Because right in that moment, if I had said something, it wouldn't have been the right thing. And it was amazing when I just gave myself a little space or gave them some. Come on, I need you to go sit over there and just be quiet for a minute. It gave me time to say, okay, God, how should I handle this? What is going to get to my child's heart? What's going to make them want to change internally? Because anger, my words, that'll make them stand up straight when I'm in their presence. But when I'm gone, then they're going to just do what they really want to do. That's good, Tasha. You walked away. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Priscilla said, Anita, you taught me to put a twist on our discipline with laughter. That's good. Yeah. Sometimes instead, I used to say, you still, maybe I was teaching them how to tie a shoe. You still don't have that shoe tied. We're about to walk out the door and the shoestrings are all loose and now I got to stop and help him get it tied. And like Priscilla said, sometimes you just bring in some joke, some laughter and so a joke and wow, I know you know how to tie that shoe. You are the best shoe tire in the world. Come on, let's get this shoe tied. I know you can do that. You bring in laughter. You lighten it up. You have to think, if that's not your natural way of thinking, you have to think about it. Good morning, Gwen. Good to see you. And so, Proverbs 14:1 says, a wise woman builds her house, but a foolish woman tears it down with her own hands. I know that anybody who's listening right now has no desire to tear down her house with her own hands. I know I did not. But there were things that I actually had to learn. There were things I had to look at. There were things that I had to understand about myself, about the power of mommy's words, and that I could get the results I wanted without having to yell, without having to be angry. Oh, thank you, Gwen. God bless you too. Without having to demean, without having to pull down. And as I began to learn that, my children were better for it. There was some esteem issues there for some of them because I just smack you down so quickly when you did something wrong. And then I had to begin to realize, as I was saying before, because that's how I was treating myself. I could not tolerate doing something wrong, making a mistake. I would, inside of my head, I'd be beating myself up. And those words that were coming out of my mouth to my kids were actually the same words I was using to myself. So I had to do some self-talk with me. Like when I messed up, oh, it's okay, Anita. Everybody makes mistakes. You don't have to be perfect. God gave you to this child knowing all your imperfections, still knowing that you could get the job done. You're wonderfully and beautifully made. I had to talk to myself. And as I began to believe who I was, it gave me the power and strength to speak that thing to my kids. That even when they're right in the midst of sin, maybe a child was lying to me, I could say to them, honey, that does not match up with who God made you to be. You are an amazing individual. I am so excited about what God is doing in your life and what he's going to make you to be. And that line, it doesn't line up with who you are because you're mighty in God. And let's go find a scripture that might help you with the struggle that you're having. And you know what? Mommy has struggles too. Mine might not be lying, but you know what my struggle is. You know mommy has an anger issue. And so I got to get some scriptures to help me too. We're all in the same boat. And God's just placed me as the adult to help lead you. But I'm struggling with some stuff too. When you start talking to them like that, it begins to open their heart. They begin to understand, okay, mommy's not just pointing her finger at me. She recognizes she's got some areas she needs to work on too. And you begin to build. You begin to build. You begin to take the power that God has given us in our words and make a difference in our child. No matter what's going on around us in our world, we are the most important person in that child's life. And if we have, a husband, we are the most important person in that child's life. That's right. And if we can let them know that we are a work in progress, Priscilla, through Jesus Christ, then they know, oh, and I am too. As I've received Jesus into my life, I don't have to be perfect. I am a work in progress. And so today, as I'm heading out, I want to encourage you, because every one of you listening, you are wise women and you have a heart and a desire to build your child up, to build your house up. We are not tearing our houses down with our own hands. And so I pray that today, mighty mom of God, I pray that you would know that he has created you to be an awesome power and presence in your child's life, to be an example, not of perfection, but of dependence on God, dependence on Jesus, asking him to help us. What do we say, God? And when I don't know what to say, help me walk away, God. And give me the words, because I'm the most powerful person in my child's life. And if I can keep the anger where it belongs, if I can give the words of kindness, if I can give the discipline that is needed for this child, they will succeed. They will be mighty in God, no matter what else is going around. And speak to them what you see. They might be lying and they might be lazy right now, but speak to them what God says about them. You are mighty in God. You are going to make a difference in this world. God has put you in this earth to share his love with others. Tell them what God sees about them and leave the other alone. Tell them that is not who you are. You are diligent when they're being lazy. And let's put some things in place to help that become a reality for you. You are mighty in God. You don't have to be a follower. You don't have to do what the other kids are doing, because God has a special task, an assignment for you. And he wants you to be a light to them. They don't know what to do. You do. And he's trusting that you're going to stand up. Maybe not in a loud way, but just in how you behave, in what you decide to participate in. Come on, child. God has put you here for a special purpose, and you're not going to get out of it. When mommy's eyes are not there, God still sees, because he loves you and he has a plan for your life, and he wants you to make a difference. That's right. You have an assignment for your life. When we tell kids things like this, the desire to commit suicide, the desire for depression will begin to move away, because we give them purpose for living. This is why you're here. You can't quit. God has something for you to do. Hello, Renee. He has something for you that's greater than the bullies at school, greater than you feeling like nobody likes you, greater than what your grades are right now. He has a purpose for your life. And there are many others who have had the struggles that you've had. I had them as your mom, and God brought me through because he needed me to be here so that you could get here. That's how we got to begin to speak into our child's life. That's how we combat the enemy. That's how we break down that other stuff that those other students are saying about them, because it's all a lie. But we are the truth, and we have to make sure that what we speak to them is what God sees and not what we see. All right, guys, I'm done. Have a fantastic day. I love you, and I'm praying for you that you would just use some of the things that I've shared. Yeah, and if you're interested, thank you, Priscilla. I have a book called Starfinder, and it has strategies in there that can help moms who are struggling with just parenting, because it's not easy, and there's no manual. Oh, MK, thank you. Okay, praise God. To introduce myself. Yes, I know who you are, MK. I is just so honored that you purchased my book. I'm just so honored for just what you're doing. I thank you for your heart. I thank you that you love God. I thank you that you want to be the best mom that you can be. And that's all you need. And God is going to give you everything you need, MK. He loves you, and he loves your children. And you're an awesome mom already. You're an awesome mom already. And you're saying, ha, ha, ha. But God has something special for your life and your heart, because you love him. And he's going to show you exactly what you need to do to raise your children. Just keep crying out to him and asking him for wisdom for you, for your children. Love you guys. You're welcome, MK. Bye.